being in your 20s gives you the feeling of total adulthood. I mean, you've just escaped from your teens and branched out into another phase of your life. However, what a lot of people in their 20s fail to realize is that with adulthood comes responsibilities, some of which you didn't bargain for. One of these responsibilities is the management of your finances. You must learn how to earn, spend, and save your money. Yeah, you're all grown up and you can make so many decisions all by yourself, but are you making the right ones? It is common to see many people in their 20s make terrible financial decisions. These decisions range from career choices to how lavishly they spend their money, without recognizing the need to invest now and build for the future. Luckily, boss, in this video, I will share with you these 7 money traps you must avoid in your 20s. And if you're new to the channel, then hit the subscribe button below for more life-changing content. Money trap number 1, disregarding the future. Yeah, it's cool to live for today since tomorrow isn't promised, right? As true as that may be, there lies another truth. You are still alive and hopefully will be for a long time to come. For this reason, it is of utmost importance to plan for your future. When I say the future, I'm not just talking about your 30s. I'm talking about your 50s and 60s as well. Do you plan to buy a house? What about investments and retirement? These are all aspects of your future you shouldn't disregard. I don't think you'd enjoy paying rent when you're in your 60s. I also assume you will want to begin to work less as you grow older. It's wiser to plan for your future now, then reap the benefits later when your body is no longer strong enough to take on the tasks of someone in their 20s. Money trap number 2, living without a budget. This is a major mistake many people in their 20s make. You really can't take control of your finances if you don't draw up budgets. You need to balance your monthly income with your monthly expenses. Draw up budgets and set limits to the amount of money you spend every day or month. Doing this will help you save money both in the long and short term. Many may assume drawing up budgets means depriving yourself of some of life's pleasures, but that's not true. If you like going out for drinks once or twice a month, then fit that into your budget. That's fine as long as you can afford it. Drawing up a budget is only a means to keeping your spending in check, especially if you're the type that loves to go on wild spending sprees. Money trap number 3, taking too much credit and not paying back on time. This is a very dangerous thing for a person in their 20s to do, as poor credit management can leave you struggling to pay back debt even when you're in your 40s. Maintaining a good credit score is important, but how can you do that when you're already $20,000 deep in debt? When you're in your 20s or in any age bracket really, set limits to the amount of credit you take. The lesser you owe, the easier it will be for you to pay back. Do your best to pay back any current debts before taking any more credit. It will take a lot of discipline to properly manage your credit, but certain strategies can help. I recommend you use a payback chart when you take credit. On this chart, you should include the amount of credit you owe, the time frame in which the credit is supposed to be paid back, how much you earn per day, per week, or per month, and how much you need to dedicate weekly, daily, or monthly to paying back the loan. With a chart like this and some discipline, you will be able to clear out your credit in due time. Also, you will have access to better credit at lower interest rates in the future since you've built up a good credit score. Money trap number 4, not demanding what you are worth. If you run your own business or work for someone else, a time will come when you have to push for better wages. I know you think it's easier to just accept what your clients or employers offer you and move on. I personally do not agree with that, especially if your skill set or expertise can match up to better salaries. Yes, I know how uncomfortable it can be to ask someone who's been paying you a certain amount of money over a reasonable period for a raise. However, that moment of discomfort is well worth the extra sum of money it can get you. Don't be afraid to negotiate for better fees, especially when you know you're worth it. Trust me, if you're really good at what you do, your employers or clients will know your value. They may even be shocked that you haven't asked for a raise all this time. In my early days of freelancing, I used to be scared to ask for higher wages. However, over time I became frustrated with my earnings and summoned the courage to ask for more. Well, a few of my clients said they couldn't give me an increase and they left, but they eventually came back and paid what I demanded because they knew that I delivered quality work. Once again, be sure your skills can match up to what you're demanding. If not, no one will pay you higher fees, and of course be reasonable in the raises you ask for. Once you do receive that rate increase or raise you've been wanting, it means you'll have more money to save and invest into your future goals. Money trap number 5, keeping up with unnecessary pressure. This happens a lot to people in their 20s, especially in this era of social media. You see a friend on Instagram showing off their new expensive watch, and you feel the need to do the same. Maybe you see them posting pics of their new car, and you feel the need to do the same even when you really can't afford it. Doing this will hurt you financially. Stick to buying things you can truly afford so you don't run into unnecessary debt. In fact, who even says you need to buy all the expensive things your peers do anyways? I'm not saying you shouldn't spoil yourself and enjoy the good things life has to offer. You should, but only when you can truly afford them. Imagine taking out money meant for investments just to buy a fancy new watch so you can post it on Facebook. What a terrible idea, right? Listen, you don't need to buy rounds of drinks for everyone in the club just to show you're doing great. You're awesome regardless of what anyone thinks of you. Think about this, when you go broke, do you think the people you went to show off to will be prepared to bail you out? Your guess is as good as mine. Money trap number 6, reckless spending. This could fall under the bracket of showing off, but it isn't necessarily the same thing. When you spend ridiculously just to show off, you're doing it for the sake of others to notice you. But when you spend recklessly, you're doing it because generally you have no control over your spending. That's indiscipline. It's okay to take yourself out every now and then, especially when there's something tangible to celebrate. However, that doesn't mean you should go berserk and buy out the bar. A person who has a habit of spending recklessly will not be able to save money, period. When you are paid, keep some money on hand for your routine costs and put some away into a savings account. It's easier not to spend the money when you don't think about it. If you can learn how to control your spending in your 20s, trust me, you'll live like a true boss when you're much older. Money trap number 7, failing to save for emergencies. How important are savings? Very. Have you ever been in a situation where an emergency, which was totally unplanned for, pops up? If you haven't, then pay attention. Nothing is worse than experiencing a financial emergency and you have no money saved to handle it. Financial emergencies can include anything from medical bills to repairs for your car. If you find yourself in a situation like this, it means you have to call as many people as you can to help you out of the emergency. Guess what? They may not be able to help you in your time of need. This is not to say your friends or family are stingy. It may just mean that they can't help at that particular time. What I recommend is that you save yourself the headache of having to ask for help by saving for emergencies. As I mentioned earlier, when you earn, be it your salary or payment from a client, be sure to put a percentage of that money into savings. Do this regularly so that when financial emergencies occur, you can have something to fall back on and solve the problem at hand. Now that I've gone over the money traps that you must avoid, I think it will be worthwhile to note the benefits that you will receive if you avoid these mistakes. You see, as a young person in their 20s, you may not realize the advantages of avoiding bad financial practices until you are much older. They say experience is the best teacher, but it doesn't have to be your own personal experience. This pertains to the mistakes I just went over, but also the benefits you will receive, which are the following. Benefit number 1, you will be financially stable in your older years. This is a no-brainer, since making the right money moves in your youth will include saving and investing. When you get older and are no longer able to deal with the hustle and bustle, you will still be financially comfortable, thanks to all the planning, investment, and sacrifices you have made in your youth. Benefit number 2, you can give back to your community and build your legacy. When you are financially stable, you might as well give back to your community, as this will strengthen your legacy even when you are gone. You can give back by offering scholarships, free financial training seminars, or even setting up businesses that would create jobs in your community. You may ask yourself, what does legacy matter to a dead person? Nothing, but it would matter to your kids, grandkids, and close family members who are still very much around. Benefit number 3. You will have peace of mind and a sense of accomplishment. In your older years, as you continue reaping the benefits of all the right money moves you made in your 20s, you will find that you will be at peace with yourself as far as money is concerned anyways. Have you ever come across old folks who express how much regret they feel about the bad money moves they made in their past? Especially when they look at their peers who are doing well for themselves. If you have, then you would understand exactly what I'm trying to say here. You can't put a price tag on peace of mind and a feeling of accomplishment. Give yourself a pat on the back. Benefit number 4, you may become rich. How would you like to pop up on the Forbes list? That may not be your dream, but I'm sure there'll be a smile on your face if you grace their magazine covers. One of the greatest financial rewards for being smart with money is becoming rich. Yeah, it sounds vain, but it is what it is. The richest people in the world today are those who made smart money moves 20 to 30 years ago. Hey, it looks like YouTube thinks this next video is the one that will change your financial life forever. Give it a watch and let's see if they're right.